Hello, today we are going to work out our quads with maybe a coonhound and a beagle. But we're going to start off just seated. So if you have a couple of balls, get your balls. And we're just going to take the balls and roll on our thighs. Just back and forth. There, that's good, Ajax. Just roll out the thighs. Down into the IT band. You can roll a little harder if you want to. We're gonna come onto our stomachs in a minute and roll out the thighs. So this might be enough for you. Go ahead and start a deep breath. So I've got 3 blocks and a strap. You might want a block or 2 or 3. And then release that. And now we're gonna come on to our stomachs. So we're just gonna take the balls right on our thighs and roll out our quads. So you can come up on your forearms, curl your toes under, and then just start to roll back and forth. Maybe crawl yourself up and roll down a little more. So you can really do this as much as you want. You know, you might pause the video and just roll around like this for a while. But when you're done, put your knees down, slowly press yourself up, and then move the balls and come back on to your stomach. Press your hips down and then alternate. Bend one knee and then the other one. One more time. And then release that. Now take your right hand out to the side. Just cross your left arm across your mat, parallel to the mat. Bend that right knee and reach around for the foot. If you're not feeling your quad enough, push the hips down into the mat. Take some deep breaths. And then release, switch sides. So both hips are on the floor. And then release that. Come up onto your hands and knees. Come into a table. Couple of cows and cats, because this is so good for your back. And then release that. Now stretch your left leg back. Foot can be on the floor, or you can have that foot even with your right hip. And then reach your right arm out. A little balance here. Then bend that left knee, reach around for that right foot. Take some deep breaths. And then inhale, release it out. Exhale, release. Switch sides, stretch that right leg back. Reach that left arm out, just look down at your hand. And then bend the right knee. Reach around for your foot. bend out, exhale, lower, curl those toes under, roll it up to a down dog, walk it out if you need to. And then bend that right knee, pick that foot up, open that hip. And then close that hip, and we're gonna step the right foot up. So now you may wanna block if you're on a hard surface or rolled up blanket, and let that left knee come down right above the kneecap. And just pick your left foot up and down. And then curl those toes under. Come up onto this right knee. So I'm not coming up like that. See that I'm on my knee, it kind of hurts, and I lose my balance. I want my hips to drop down, kind of pull that right hip back. And then pick up your left foot, reach around, and say hi to your quad. And then slowly come up, reach around with your right hand too. The closer you pull that foot in, the more you're going to feel that quad. And then slowly release, curl those left toes under, lift that knee, step back to a down dog, walk it out with that block over, or maybe you've got a rolled up mat or blanket, long ways horizontal, and then step the left foot up. Forgot to have you open that hip up, then we'll step it up. Now bring it up. Again, nothing but professional here with me. Lower that right knee down, right above the kneecap. Let that foot come up and down. And then release it. So lift knees over the ankle. Come up on to your knee. And then pick that right foot up. Reach around, grab that quad, grab the foot, stretch the quad. And then maybe use both hands. Sink a little. You'll say hello again to that quad. And then slowly release, curl those toes under, lift that right knee now, step up, fold down, and then bend those knees, walk your hands up your legs, bring your hands to your hips, and as you exhale, push those hips forward into a standing camel. Belly button in, and then as you inhale, lift up, and exhale, sit back into your chair. You can add arms. We're not working on arms today, but you can always add them. And then fold back down. Take a few deep breaths. Bend those knees if you need to. And then as you inhale, lengthen out, exhale, fold. Now step that right leg back. You can move that block. Turn that right heel to the left, and the left knee is going to bend. We're going to come up to a quick little warrior one. And then let this right hip open a little bit, but not this left knee. We don't want it rolling in. We want it tracking towards the little toe, and just open to a warrior two. Look out over that left arm. Trying to get this done before the thunderstorm comes in. And then bring this right arm around, hands to your hips. Pick up that heel. Now you can tap the foot up 2 or 3 times, or you can lift it up and then cross it over the left one, coming into your eagle. And you can add eagle arms, or just focus on those quads. And then inhale, slowly come up, lift this right knee, and just start to slowly move it back and forth. And then even the knees up, reach around for that right foot. That foot stuck to the mat. And lift that left arm up, coming into your dancer pose. And then inhale, release that, set that foot down. Big inhale, reach up. Exhale, back into your chair. Lift your toes. And then exhale, fold down. Step your left leg back and turn that heel to the right. So if you drew a line, both of your heels would be on the same line. And then slowly work your way up. Brief little warrior one, little back bend here. And then open up. Keep this right knee going to the little toe. Lift your arms. Reach out over, look out over this right arm. And then inhale, bring the left arm around, hands to your hips, pick up this left heel, tap it up if you need to, or lift up, cross it over, squeeze those thighs together, bend that right knee, push down a little bit with the thumbs. And then inhale, come up, lift that left knee, slowly move it back and forth. We're not in a race, we're not in a hurry. So even the knees up, reach around with your left foot, grab your pants, throw that strap around your foot. Maybe this is as much as you're gonna dance on this side. Or maybe you reach out. And then release, reach up, exhale. Bend those knees, fold down. And then just kind of step back to the middle of your mat. Come down onto your knees, mine just both popped. And walk your hands up for another camel. If you need to stand up, you can stand up and do this camel. But lean back a little bit. Inhale, lift yourself up. Back and forth. Working the quads, working the abs. One more time. And then have a seat on your heels or in Virasana. Virasana is your rear is in between your feet. You might be thinking, Yeah, no, it's not. So, you know, if you've got knee issues, get some blocks. Twist open. Inhale to the center. Exhale, twist the other way. And then come back to the center. So you can take those balls again, roll around on your quads while we're here. You know, not everybody can sit in Virasana with the rear between the feet. You might have to sit on the heels. That might not even be an option for you. But whatever you do, especially if you're under the age of 18 or you have little kids, don't let them sit in the W position where they're like this, their rear's on the floor and their feet are out to the side. That puts a really high stress on the ligaments in the hips, and it's going to lead to hip issues when they're older. So try to avoid letting your kid or you sit in the W position. You know, this might not even be attainable for you. You might need to sit some other way. With that being said, we're going to take it a little deeper. Supta Virasana. So, for some of you, this might be as good as it gets. You're still getting a great quad stretch and a back bend and a chest opener. Maybe you can come down onto your elbows here on blocks, or maybe your elbows are on the floor. If your knees start to pop up, you've gone too far. Now maybe you can come down onto your back. And you can kind of push down with your elbows. But you should definitely notice your quads right here. Pull that belly button in. Take some deep breaths. Pause this and stay here as long as you want to. Or when you're ready, work your way up onto those elbows. Woo, then your hands. That was like a super duper back bend too. And then walk those knees in. Bring your hands on to the floor. Kind of crawl back and push into a down dog. Walk it around. And then lift the right leg up, bend the knee, open that hip. And then close that hip as you inhale. Bring the knee to your chest. Step the foot up. We're going to let this left leg slide back. And we're going to walk our right foot over to a pigeon. So this left hip is going to move out towards the heel. And if you find you're like this, stick a block under your butt. Even if you're not like that, sometimes it's nice to back off a pose and make it, you know, just a little more relaxing. Pull that right hip back a little bit and you'll feel that left one move forward. You can do the little test. Push the top of the foot down, let that left knee lift up. So you know your leg's in a good position. Couple more breaths. Again, if you love pigeon, if you're a pigeon lover, pause this video, stay here as long as you want. But then slowly come up. And we're going to make our pigeon scream. And yeah, that's about as pretty as it really gets. So just bend that left knee. So you should be above that kneecap, getting into the quad. Your right hand can be here, here, here on a block. But we're going to reach around, grab that left foot or your pants legs. breathe. And then slowly release that. Put your hands on the floor. Curl those left toes under. Lift up and stretch back to a down dog. Walk it around again. And then lift that left leg up. Bend the knee, open the hip. Exhale, close it. Inhale, bring the left knee in. Coming into pigeon on the other side. With a block or without, maybe you've got your head on a block. Pull that left hip back a little bit. Feel that right hip move just a little. It moves as much as the left hip does. And then as you inhale, slowly walk up. Unless you're not going to screaming pigeons, just stay where you are. Bend that right knee. Reach around. And then slowly release that. Now curl those right toes under. Just kind of lift that left leg up. Slide it back. Push to a child pose, but keep your hips up. Ajax is in my way. So take your right arm and slide it under the left one. Just a nice twist. And then as you inhale, come up and exhale, go the other way. Ajax, you need to move. Well, here comes Bowie too. Great. Great. And then slowly come up. Quick little table, cow and cat. And then walk out, walk back to a half plank, and just let your hips ease down to a modified up dog. And then come on down, walk or rock those hips side to side. And then come back to the center. Now bend that right knee, reach back for the foot. Bend the left knee, reach back for that foot. Bring your knees apart. This might be it. Maybe you have your strap wrapped around your feet. Lift your chest up, lift your thighs up. So in a perfect world, my hip bones would be about the only thing on the floor. But as you can see, I'm far from perfect. Release down, bring those hands by your chest, lower your legs, push yourself up. You're gonna need the blocks here maybe, but we're gonna step this right foot up, lift that left knee, start to slide back to a big long lunge, and maybe take it into splits so you can have a block under your thigh. You can have blocks for your hands. Whatever you need to do. Maybe your sit bones are already on the floor. You're in full-blown splits. Maybe you're not quite there. But all those quad stretches we did, and we've got one more. Slide back and switch legs. But all those quad stretches help the hamstrings. And if you're on a hardwood floor, my hips are closed, but you can put a shirt or a strap or something under this left heel. And as you inhale, pull that heel back. Exhale, slide it out a little more. Do it as you can. Just be sure you don't split something you shouldn't. And then when you're ready, slide up out of that. Come around into a seated pose. Come onto your sit bones. Ooh, just hug those knees in. Stretch that left leg out and wrap around this right knee. Great big twist. Splits are back bends, pigeons are back bends. Pretty much everything we've done today is a back bend except the cat and that one little forward fold we did. Come back to the center. Now you can either keep your right foot like this. If you don't have knee issues, you can bring it around into half virasana. Roll that calf out. Get all your toes on the floor. And then take your hands like that over your knee and just pull them apart. Do that a couple of times. So your thighs are not together. And then sit up nice and tall. You can bring your hands to your heart, put them on your thigh, or reach up and fold out. And then what I like to do is put my left hand out to the side. So it keeps me from rolling to the left. I can push with that left hand and stay squared up. And maybe get a little deeper. And then when you're ready, come up out of that. Unwind that right leg, stretch it out, shake it out. Bring that left knee in and twist to the left. And then back to the center, and then either keep the foot where it is, and fold like this. You're not getting that quad stretch, but you may have had enough quad movements today. Or bring this left leg around to half virasana. Sit up nice and tall. Maybe fold down, maybe get your strap, throw it around your foot. And then right hand can go out to the side. Just so you don't do this. Maybe you just keep the elbows on the floor or blocks, Make this yours. Got blocks, use them. And then slowly come up. Unroll that left leg, and finally we're going to come onto our back. Hug those knees in and rock the knees from side to side. This ought to feel pretty good on the sacrum. We have one more thing, and then it's Shavasana. So just put your left foot on the floor, stretch that right leg up, and pull the leg back. Again, all that quad stuff we did is going to help those hamstrings loosen up. We didn't really do a before test, but you probably know what you were like. Now as you inhale, hold on to your foot or the strap and push away, just like there's a brick wall right there. And then when you exhale, you're going to pull back some more. So you ought to know if your leg moved. And then release, put that foot on the floor. Bring the left knee in and extend that leg. And you can always keep bend in this knee. You know, it doesn't have to be straight as a stick. But kind of just see where you are. Maybe your knee's bent quite a bit. It's okay. And then inhale, push, push away, push, push, push. And then exhale, pull back. So your muscles get used to going to a certain place, and then when you give them resistance and release, they're like, okay, because they have to fight against that wall or that pressure that you're putting on them. And then maybe they move a little more. Set that foot to the floor. Just take your knees over to one side. And then inhale to the center and exhale to the other side. And then back to the center. Now it's time to relax a little bit. Or maybe you are going to pause this video and relax a little bit more. But, you know, at least take a minute and just kind of let your mind go. Let your thoughts go. Let your breath go. This is actually less than a minute, but when you're ready, bring your knees into your chest and roll all the way over to one side. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Little fetal position, little safe, nice position, and then stretch out that top leg. Push yourself up. Find a seated pose, however you can sit. And again, just take a few more deep breaths. Maybe say a little quick prayer. Think of some things you're happy about or thankful for. And then bring your hands to your heart. Thank you very much for watching my video and practicing with me. Namaste.